Hey everyone, welcome to Simble Things, a channel where I talk about living with C-PTSD, mental health issues and everything that goes along with that. So today's video, I want to talk about keeping motivation. Now this is something I struggle with so hard. How do you keep motivation sometimes when it's all really slow at times? When those little differences you might not notice on a day-to-day, and sure, you can take stock and kind of work on them, but from day to day, you have to just keep that motivation. And sometimes things like that, just forming those habits, are the things that carry us through, because there's definitely plenty of days that motivation is hard for me. You have to find a way, some ways, something. Sometimes we don't always see the progress, do we? There's things we might be working on, but we don't really realize that they're getting better. There might be things that you'd only notice in a kind of crisis situation, so generally we try and avoid those anyway, so we might not realize that we are getting more resilient against those situations. That's one of the big reasons why keeping motivation can be so difficult, because it's so hard to track our progress. There's no easy scale where we can just measure something and we go, ooh, we've got like plus 5% on our mental health resilient index, that's not a thing. Maybe it should be, I don't know. But yeah, there's no way that's very easy to write down, easy to calculate, of how we keep progress, of how we deal with our mental health issues. Because there's no easy way of doing it, it can lead for a lot of us to feel, when we feel lost at times, when we might not know what to work on, when we lose motivation, it can be hard to find the right direction. What are some ways that we can try and tackle this? So I mentioned that a lot of these improvements, they can be taking place over years, right? So we have to regularly take stock. We have to regularly think about, how did you feel day to day a year ago? How did you feel day to day 5 years ago? How are you coping with situations now versus 5 years ago, 2 years ago? Try and just think about some of these time periods and think about how things have changed. It can be useful to write this down. You can just think about, whatever works better for you. It's really important to take stock for us. It's super important, because otherwise we just can't see the progress, and that's one of the reasons why motivation can be very difficult to find. And by being able to go, no, actually, here's a list of things I wrote down of how I am doing so much better than a year ago. So that's really useful, and that's one technique. And one of the other things I was talking about is, kind of habit scheduling. When you know you're lacking motivation, even if you don't have a schedule on things to do, sometimes it's worth making one. Sometimes it's worth making yourself do something in a regular way to create the habit. Because sometimes when your motivation is failing, that habit might kick in, and that might, carry you over a bit more, just to help you, achieve the things you want to do, right? And as always, our targets always have to be realistic. But as long as they're realistic, then yeah, trying to form those habits and using that to kind of push you, yeah, I think that can be a good thing. And of course, we always have to remember, progress is not a straight line. Progress can be characterized in a lot of different ways, and So think about that as well. There's lots of different ways you can progress, and don't be really hard on yourself because one thing is taking a lot longer to improve than you'd like, and maybe it's clouding your vision and meaning that you don't see the other things that are really improving. As always, be kind to yourself. Be the friend to yourself that you need. Be the person that is gonna help motivate you, that helps you to realize how much you're getting better every day. Be the person in your life that helps yourself realize you're on the right path. You need to keep pushing. You need to just keep going day by day. And when all else fails and you really can't find the motivation for something, maybe you just need a break. And that's okay too. Because sometimes we just have to have a break. So remember, improvements happen slowly, but don't let that make you lose motivation. Keep going. You can make tomorrow better than today. So thanks for watching, everyone. Remember, there is help out there. I'll put a link to the C-PTSD Foundation in the description below. Remember to be okay with who you are. Never be afraid to reach out for help. And I super appreciate you watching. And until next time, peace.